Okay, good morning from Seekers Haven. It's been a bit, so I'm going to do a video today of what our beautiful land looks like. Since COVID has hit and quarantine, we've had much more time to work on the land and mow and plant and so forth, as I know many others have. So this is the front, obviously, leading into it. The two roads you just saw are Bagley and Tupper roads. And we, as you can tell, are literally at the corner. We finally got a porta potty. Great idea, as we've had problems with our septic and well, getting water going. This is the trailer we bought 6 years ago. Got a great deal. It's one of those who you know deals. Waiting for a dump run over here. Sorry for the mess, guys. Some plants here that are waiting for forever homes. You can see the jewelweed is growing up beautifully. It's a shed we built last year. Thank you, Bill. Nettle. We have several patches of nettle throughout the property. May apple. And some irises. Over here, sorry if I'm shaking the camera around a little bit. We have a growing mint patch. There's wild mint, apple mint, and either chocolate mint or regular peppermint in there. A little plant in front is a lilac we planted this year. And those are some lupins that we were given a couple years ago from a friend. This is my friend Gypsy's grave. Here's our other lilac. All along this row you can see the blackberries are in bloom. These are our new additions this year. Raised beds. Some herbs in this one. These buckets all have potatoes. Some vegetables in here. Obviously lots of tomatoes. Some peppers. I think some celery in that one. Lots of greens. And here are the three sisters. Beans, squash, and corn. Eventually we are planning to put up some lattice or fencing in the back there for the beans to grow up. And just yesterday, planted some more peppers and tomatoes. This is eventually going to be our rhubarb patch. But our rototiller died before I could get the permanent garden done. There's our well we put in last year. We'll scan around. So this is our backyard. This is going to be our house site eventually. And this clearing is going to be a section with a bunch of blueberry plants. And down there is our orchard. We have 4 apple trees, 2 cherry trees, and a plum tree. And there's another plum tree I'll show you that's just waiting to be moved. Beautiful morning here in central Maine. Been doing a lot of clearing, as you can see by the pile there. Needs to be burned off. All right, so this patch here is a work in progress. When we first got on the property, we were gifted some plants from our wonderful neighbor, Carmen, but didn't know where to put them, so we just kind of threw them all on the ground here. So now we're weeding this area out. The blank area right there that has been mowed down was nettles, and will be again. It was just growing kind of out of control, so this is going to be a nettle and raspberry patch eventually. But right now, as you can see, we have some blueberry plants that are going to be relocated at the end of the season. And there's foxglove over there that's going to be relocated. And I don't remember off the top of my head what that greenery is down there at the bottom with the white edges. But we're going to relocate that as well. So this is all going to be nettle again. As you can see, some of it made it through the mowing. But it went to seed before we could get as much as we wanted to harvest this year. And I didn't want it to go too crazy. So this is our other plum tree that's going to be relocated into the orchard. Right there, I just trimmed back a dead branch. Someone was staying with us for a while and brought this camper, and then it got incapacitated and can't be moved easily. So there it sits. This is an elderberry bush, which I was super excited about when I got it from a friend, but then was told it was the wrong kind of elderberry to use for syrups. This is our rhubarb patch for now. There's 5 plants. We originally had chives in here, but they seem to have all disappeared. So we planted some new ones in those raised beds. Some more blackberries back here. And lots of nettle in that background. Beautiful, beautiful, healthy comfrey, which took over my Jerusalem artichoke patch when it died off due to oh, you'll have to forgive me, I can't remember the name of it now, but some sort of invasive vine that has flowers on it. I'll mention it if it comes to me. So this area here is our crazy wild backyard that we have just allowed to kind of go crazy. Comfrey and nettle heaven. There is one plant in there that will probably move at some point. But mostly we're just kind of letting things go their natural way back here. Comfrey and nettle are both good for cleaning the soil. And this is where the old septic is back there and so forth. So we figured it wouldn't be a bad thing for the ground. There are, in the wooded area back there, there are some ramps that we planted. We're trying to get a good patch going there. So that's our tour. And we have this row of trees that Mrs. Tupper, who originally owned this property, that she planted there. We had to cut one and I almost cried, but it was diseased and going to come down on its own if I didn't. Swimming pool that our neighbors gave us. We have to find a way to bring the water in. But this is home. So thanks for coming along for the tour. It's a work in progress. I don't remember if I mentioned, but that beyond where the lodge trampoline is will eventually be our home. We're going to build a 38 by 26. Very rustic home right there. So this is Seekers Haven. Eventually there'll be classes and all sorts of things here. Welcome.